Hello, I'm Eileen Coleman. I'm the Assistant Conservation Administrator for Burlington. The Stormwater Bylaw is administered by both the Planning Board and the Conservation Commission, though the Conservation Commission usually takes the lead in administering the bylaw. I would just like to give you some background on what is being regulated and why we now need to amend the bylaw. The Clean Water Act was passed by Congress in 1970 with the aim of ensuring that all waters of the US were fishable and swimmable by 1983. That goal has still not been met for all waters. Burlington has portions of streams and water bodies that are impaired for some parameter. The Clean Water Act was expanded by the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System program to regulate point source discharges to waters of the US. Now, the EPA regulates discharges through 3 different types of permits. A permit to regulate industrial activities, one to regulate construction activities more than an acre, and a permit to regulate municipal separate storm sewer systems. What is stormwater? Stormwater is runoff from rain and snowmelt that flows over land or impervious surfaces and does not soak into the ground. If you take a look at the illustration on the right, you'll see the raindrops falling onto the roofs and the driveways and the roadways. They go into the storm drain inlet, through the storm drain system, the system of pipes under the road, and out through a storm drain outfall. The outfall goes to water bodies or wetlands in Burlington. And in Burlington, the storm sewer systems are separate from the sanitary sewers. The sanitary sewage system goes to Deer Island for treatment. The municipal separate storm sewer system is not treated, and runoff goes straight to the nearest wetland or waterway. Why should we care? As storm water flows over the ground, it picks up pollutants like oil and grease from roadways, pesticides and fertilizers from lawns, sediment from construction sites, and carelessly discarded trash. When deposited into nearby waterways through the MS4 discharges, these pollutants can impair the waterways, contaminating drinking water supplies and impacting the habitat for fish, other aquatic organisms, and wildlife, including humans. I just wanted to show you the extensive piping system under the streets of Burlington. The blue lines are the storm drains that run alongside or under the roads, and the squares and circles are catch basins and manholes. These are access points and they allow bends in the system. This gives you just an idea of how many storm drain lines there are in a municipal area. The first Massachusetts MS4 permit was issued in 2003. And in compliance with that permit, Burlington adopted a bylaw in 2007. This bylaw addressed construction and post-construction stormwater runoff, and it is this same bylaw that we are proposing to amend now. The new MS4 permit was issued in 2016, and it went into effect in 2018 due to some legal wranglings. The permit has 6 minimum control measures that must be applied: public education, public participation, illicit discharge detection and elimination, construction site stormwater runoff, pollution prevention for municipal operations, and the one that's relevant here, post-construction stormwater management in new development and redevelopments. So the new bylaw, the new permit requires municipalities to update their bylaws to manage stormwaters in new development and redevelopment with provisions that are at least as stringent as those listed in the permit. I don't want to list everything that's in the permit right now because that would take far too long, but it can be summarized into these main changes that we're proposing to make. We're proposing to add the requirement that low impact development, site planning and design strategies must be used unless infeasible, and that stormwater management systems on development and redevelopment projects more than 1 acre in size must meet strict removal requirements for total suspended solids and total phosphorus. We added some new definitions to the bylaw as well to reflect the definitions that are in the permit. We added a statement of compliance with the current permit, and we've made some minor housekeeping changes regarding the number of paper copies that are being required. We do have to submit an annual report of what we are doing to comply with the permit, so EPA would know if we were not going to update the permit or if we were late doing so. And if that were to occur, we could be subject to fines or consent decrees. They can be pretty costly. I have examples if you need them. Interested parties also have the right to sue under the Clean Water Act. If you have any questions about the changes, please direct them to either Eileen Coleman or John Keeley in the Conservation Department. And I thank you for your time.